Yeah, well, hello there, folks. Welcome back to my channel. Hope all of you are still truly well and blessed by our Lord and Savior. As you can see, a wet, slightly overcast day here in beautiful South Africa. Yeah, grass is starting to turn. Yeah, but it's still very, 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 very hot. So yeah, what are we doing today? Well, you saw the thumbnail, part 2. We're continuing on with that turbo booster. And yeah, we're stripping down the motor to get it ready to get built up. And yeah, we also, for the first time, I show you guys when I use the ultrasonic cleaner, what it does. We use it on the pistons with the carbon and stuff. So yeah, exciting stuff you haven't seen before. So yeah, let's get to the movie. Alright, so you guys should know the routine again. Before we get started, quick shout out to all the members. They are like the sponsors of this channel. So what they do is pay a bit every month to help me create better content for the world to see, or each and everyone watching. So yeah, big shout out, thanks to all the members, and yeah, thank you all. See you. If you're not a member yet, come join. It's fun. I think it's fun. Okay, let's get to the video. Yeah, so if you folks ever wondered how I get the engines over to the table, well, it wasn't with the engine crane, because I'm normally too lazy to set it up because the legs fold up and everything. But apparently I'm starting to get old now, so I don't just manhandle the thing. So yeah, I've got an engine crane, and I even got legs for the motors. When they stand on the table, they don't fall over if I'm not too lazy to install it. So yeah, let me get it on the table and we can start stripping it down. Okay, motor's on the table. So what now? What are we doing first? We're taking the sump off, checking for any copper or things in the pickup. Well, I did drain the oil, and that oil, when I poured it out through a sieve and everything, it was clean. So there's no reason for me to suspect anything wrong with this bottom end. There still could be, but as far as it looks, it's healthy. We have to take the sump off to put that turbo drain plug in. But yeah, I want to get the head and stuff off so I can show you guys what we need to do, pistons and in that area wise. So yeah, we've got a couple of problems. We've got a couple of oil leaks. I don't know why it's leaking there, but we are installing a new top gasket, so we will be checking the head when it's off. There's another thing I saw, if you can't see now, but the one valve stem seal is leaking. You can check it on the valve. There's oil on the valve, so we're gonna have to check that. In this area there's an oil leak. Can be the tappet cover, can be this banjo bolt, can be this bolt, somewhere in this area, but we need to clean that first. But yeah, as it goes, I'm showing you step by step. So first thing, tappet cover's got 6 Allen key bolts you need to take off to get the tappet cover off, so we can start going down. After the tappet cover's off, I'll show you with the tensioner what we do with the tensioner to check out the chain is. And yeah, let's get that tappet cover off first. Alright, tappet cover is off, and yeah, things just got interesting. I'm first gonna have to check the timing, and I'm quickly gonna remove the plug, so easier to turn the motor over and all that. Why? Well, if you check there, the bike has a set of aftermarket APE vernier pulleys on it. So now I'm going to have to check the timing, and we are going to have to degree the timing. Normally, when people put these aftermarket pulleys on, I see this one were welded. To get it in the correct position, you need to degree the timing, and there's definitely been some adjustments. So yeah, we need to set the timing, and when everything is done, you're gonna have to degree the timing. And now you would say, yeah, but that's not a big issue. It actually is. It's one of those dark arts. I know how to do it, but you know, when I told you I'm a normal guy and I know an expert, someone called Shane, well, yeah, so I'm probably gonna have to load this motor and go to Shane, let him degree the timing, because yeah, there's ways and ways. So yeah, maybe if I go to him and he does it, I'll maybe make a little video, show you a bit of it, but I know normally the guys are pretty secretive on the way they do it. So yeah, let me get the plugs out and we can check the timing marks before we can take the cams out now. All right, let me continue. Okay, plugs are out, and as I guessed it, they have all signs of showing burning a bit of oil. But yeah, with the head work done, it's not bad, but they took away the valve guides, and these valve guides are only like that long, and now you take away about that much, or let's say that much. There's not much left, and then the guides wear out pretty fast, and yeah, then you start burning oil on the valves. So don't know if you can see there. I'll get a flashlight and show you. I'll show you once the head is off. But yeah, probably gonna have to do a bit of valve stem seals and maybe a set of valve guides. Don't know. We'll see. All right, but the plugs are out. Let's do the timing and we can get this head off. Okay. For the love of me, I can't understand it. So the timing marks, I don't know if you can see in there, is on its place, and I'll zoom in closer so you can see. So what's going on here? Well, they took a set of APE vernier pulleys and put it on a set of standard cams. How can I say it's standard cams? Maybe they ground the cams. Well, it doesn't matter if they ground the cams. If you degree the timing, and now you'll see, yeah, but this one is not in the center, and that one is more to the side, and that one is not top dead, and that one maybe is, but nothing of that is important, because it's standard cams. If you check there on the cam, if this thing will focus, you see that little stripe. Let's go to that cam. You see that little stripe? That's standard cams. Now you check that stripe is level. That stripe is level. That's standard timing. Why install a set of vernier pulleys and you don't degree the timing? That's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like driving a Uno and sticking Ferrari badges on it. It's still a Uno. Alright, but yeah, so there's no worries about me degreeing the timing. It's just normal timing with a set of vernier pulleys. How nice. Alright, I'll quickly remove this and show you what we do here to check if the chain is still nice and fresh. There's a couple of ways, but I like to check it here, see what the slack in the chain is. I'll show you just now. So what you do is, yeah, all right. The nut at the back with the spring in, it goes on here. You take that off. You can take the oil line off. This one was tight, so I took it off. Take the two Allen key bolts out, and then without hooking it, this one is full of issues. You take it out, And now you see I just let it run out, and I did it now a couple of times because this one gets stuck on the inside for some reason. Don't know what's going on over here. Something happened to the point, so it hooks on the inside. All right, but essentially what you do is, not like this one now, when you pull it out, then you count the clicks it has left till it's fully engaged. I'm not going to show you this one now. I'll do it again and check it myself. But yeah, so when you pull it out, and let's say it's like there, you count, you check where it is, and you count how many clicks you have left. It'll give you roughly an idea. You can see on the wear, pretty much you've got about 7 or 8 clicks from new chain to totally scrap chain. So yeah, I'll quickly check this one again. Yeah, even if you bugger it up like I just did, you can just put it back in, reinstall it. As I say, this one's got an issue. Put the spring it back in, let it grit out, take it out, count it, and yeah, then you'll know. That's the one way. The other way is you count 15 links while it's under tension, you measure it, and there's a set distance. It's supposed to be, if it's over, it's dead. If it's under, it's good. So yeah, that's the other way. Sorry, I thought I was going to show you or teach you something, but yeah, what a bugger up. All right, and now we can take the cams off so we can start getting this head off. Okay, so if you are this far into this and yeah, you don't know anything about engines, I would say stop. I can show you step by step, but I really don't think it's necessary, because if you are here, you should know what you're doing. If you don't know, yeah, I don't think a YouTube video will teach you, but okay, let's leave that. Just for interest sake, there's a tensioner guide, not a tensioner, just a guide, going over here to 5mm Allen keys, and then you need to take all 10 of these 10mm bolts out to get the cams out. So yeah, oh, and my supervisor just arrived. Say hello. Hello. All right, so I'll take these cam caps off. We can get the cams out. Okay, cams are out. Important to remember, there's half moon rings in here. Don't lose them. They are very scarce. So I put the cams over that side with the half moon rings. Next step, these 2 bolts, Allen key number 5, and there's a number 10 here at the back. You need to remove that oil line, that water hose, and then all 10 of the head studs, or not studs, bolts. It's just got normal head bolts in. Oh yeah, and this one also to remove the timing chain, to let it drop down. So you take it out, drop the chain, and you can put it back in. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do, and then we can get the head off. Okay, so I just wanted to show you I already broke the head studs loose, and check, I've got a jugga. How quick and easy this goes. Yeah. What fun. Alright, then we're just gonna remove those ones, that one, that oil line and the water line, and then we can take the head off. Yeah, folks, and just like that, the head is off. But yeah, we've got oil. This oil probably leaked in from the top when I took the cam off through the spark plug hole, but even if I wipe that off, you can see the pistons they were burning a bit of oil. And as I told you, I can see on the valve stem seals that there's definitely a oiling problem. Here you can check it on the valves also, the inlet valves, showing signs of oil. Just turn the head around. So yeah, we're probably gonna have to do valve stem seals or something. The big issue is if we just do the valve stem seals, they're gonna wear out quickly again because half of the guides are missing. But yeah, we will check it and I will give you the final verdict once I know. Okay, so next step. Say hello, Tilly. She was my, I would say peer assistant, but no, she was my spanner assistant when taking this head off. So next thing, we'll take off these barrels, get everything cleaned and back in place, and yeah, then we can install that space plate. And then we're almost done with the motor, apart from the head. Okay, we saw the head, you saw the head, we know the head. So yeah, time to get these barrels off. Two number 10 bolts there and there. You need to remove them. Need to remove this water line over here. Then the barrels can come off and we can see what we are working with. So let me loosen this and let's get these barrels off. One more thing, Peter. I also took this breather system off, which is not going to be that whole contraption again. But yeah, water hose is off. Now I can get a flying press and we can get these barrels off. Okay, barrels are off. Rings are loose. None of them are tight or anything. So all seems good, pistons look good, everything looks good. Barrels, although dirty and got a nice little oil groove on the top. Don't see anything weird, scratches or anything like that. All looks pretty fine. So while we are busy, quickly gonna take the stator off. Check what's going on there. Is the stator burnt or is everything happy-go-lucky? Yeah, then we can get everything cleaned and start building the bike up again. Okay, taking the stator off. Easy. Just unbolt all the bolts all around. Pretty sure that one is stripped, so we're probably gonna have to fix that. It's got the correct ones there, and there, and ones I'm gonna throw away there and there, because these are aluminum ones. Nice, they weigh nothing, they strip like nothing. I hate them with passion, so yeah, it's the last time you'll be seeing these ones. They will be going straight into a bin somewhere for scrap aluminum. So yeah, once you remove them, you can pry it here, and back there is a spot, and I think here at the bottom, yeah, to get it loose, because it's magnetized, so it's normally stuck, doesn't want to come off. Yeah, I'll quickly pull it off and then I'll show you. Nice watch, eh? Ha, I like it. Okay, let me pull it off. Okay, stator is off. Good news, it's not burnt, so it's probably just the plug that had a crappy connection. Nice melted flavor. And yeah, the stator looks fine. I will test it, but it looks fine. Normally it's black when it's burnt, not this nice brown caramel color. Then another thing, now you will see this flywheel, the points it's got on, only got 8 gaps. So what does that mean? Well, for the guys that know, you get the one with the 8 gaps, and then you get the one 24 minus 1, also on the Gen 1s, and on Gen 2 it's 24 minus 2, something like that. So yeah, what this means is this one is running with an 8-bit CDI. The one with the more points runs with a 16-bit CDI. Doesn't mean a lot, eh? It's only the memory and the processing. So this one's got the slower CDI. you can't do anything to the CDI really. So yeah, this is fine. I will be putting that back and checking what's going on with that hole and putting nice fresh bolts back in, and then we can clean those pistons up. At least we can reinstall the barrels once it's clean. The head, we're still gonna have to wait and figure out what we're gonna do there. Okay, you guys, let me do all that groceries and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so we are pretty much stripped down as far as we're gonna go. We're quickly gonna remove the pistons to have them cleaned. I'm gonna ultrasonic clean them, and I'll show you how they come out. Not gonna use brushes or wire brushes or anything like that. We're just gonna use the ultrasonic on that. So we'll quickly take the pistons off and then we'll put the motor upright so we can get the sump off. So yeah, to take the pistons off, pretty easy. Each piston has got a little, not like a circlip or like a circlip. On each side, you take one side out, you push the pin on the inside out, and that should be it. Yeah. See if I can quickly do one without letting the pin go somewhere. Okay, this isn't a one-handed job because you don't want these circlips to shoot out. I've got extras, but you don't want them. There's one to fall into the motor. I'll just put it there, and then normally you can just push the pin out from the other side, just like that. Once the pin is out, nice, there's your piston. So yeah, I will be marking them but not scraping them or anything. And yeah, if you've got the piston out, you can feel the con rod, see if there's any unnecessary movement on it. And yeah, okay, I'll quickly take the other three out and then I'll show you the next process. Okay, so once you've got all four of your pistons out, as I said, then you can go and check. You can feel each connecting rod for any types of play, anything that feels weird. It helps to check, and you can see pretty much if there's any discoloration on them, anything that's worrisome. These ones are all 100% fine. So we're gonna tilt the motor onto its backside and quickly remove the sump, and then I'll go show you when we do that pistons in the ultrasonic cleaner, how they come out. Okay, so I'll put two pistons in. Yeah, we'll quickly do two pistons, then I'll remove the sump, and then I'll do the other two and I'll show you the end result. Alright, so this is my ultrasonic parts cleaner, and if you've never worked with an ultrasonic cleaner before, I can't even hold the phone in my hand because when I touch it, it vibrates so crazy that it messes up the video. It makes it sound like there's static or something in it. But I wanted to show you. So we'll switch it on for 30 minutes. You can see it's vibrating. So I'll show you. You can see the piston. And I don't know if you can see there. Okay, wait. Did you see how quick that worked? Okay, so I'll put the piston in upside down. Maybe I need a little more liquid, but alright. I'll put two pistons in, leave it for 30 minutes, and I'll show you how they look when they come out. So this one, nice and black. So you can already see on the first piston it is starting to discolor, and I leave the rings on. Let me just take this out of here. So if I touch this liquid now, it buggers up the video. But yeah, I'll leave it in here. You can see discoloration of my liquid. We'll leave it for 30 minutes, and the heat is on its lowest setting. It's 15 degrees. You can make it a bit hotter, but I really don't think that's necessary. And you can already see how that piston is starting to clean up. But yeah, let's give it 30 minutes. We'll quickly go and remove that sump, and I'll show you how the pistons look when they come out. Alright, so while we're waiting for those pistons to be done, quickly gonna take the sump off, and best to get a rag underneath, because there's obviously still some oil left in the bike engine after you've drained everything. So yeah, time to use the power tools again, and just, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 screws, 8mm screws you need to remove. And just by the go of it, I can tell you the sump has previously been removed and installed incorrectly. But that's fine, not a big issue. The reason I say that, this one has got a little seal on it, and it shouldn't be there. It's supposed to be there, because that one goes straight into the clutch area. It goes right through. So if it's not sealed there, it'll leak oil. This one didn't seem to leak oil, but normally that's why you've got the one with the seal. It's supposed to go there. But yeah, there you can check on that bolt which I removed now. You see the oil. These ones are supposed to be dry, and you can see they are. So yeah, I'll remove the rest and show you when it's off. Okay, sump is loose. Let's quickly take it off. It's a bit oily, and probably there's going to leak some more oil out now. That's fine. So you guys can see what I see. Oh yeah, okay, a bit more oil. And we've got a mosquito. We still have a mosquito, but that's fine. Okay. Oh, okay. So the sump has been repaired previously. There you can see the weld. It's actually very nicely welded, so you can see the weld more on the inside. And then just have a look at this oil, see if there's nothing I can see. Oh yeah, we'll also do the pickup with the ultrasonic, just to see if there's anything on the inside. But I can tell you, it looks clean. I don't know if you can see in there. I certainly cannot. But we'll remove it and check it. It looks pretty good from this side. So yeah, the only reason we're taking the sump off is we need to do the return for the turbo. So that's the only reason the sump is coming off. We'll weld on that return bung, and then we'll just reinstall it again. But yeah, everything looks good. So yeah, let's wait for those pistons and I'll show you the pistons. Okay, so I just had a look inside there, but you can look for yourself. That is pretty much the cleanest pickup I've ever seen. Oh well, I was expecting it to be clean, but yo, you check there, there's not even a speck of carbon, silicone, or nothing. Yeah, a very, very clean pickup. That's very good to see. Okay, so the ultrasonic cleaner is done, 30 minutes in it, and I did add a bit of heat. I took it up to 25 degrees. Now you will see me take it out, just shaking off the excess fluids. And there you can see even the pins vibrate out. That's how heavy this thing vibrates. So yeah, there's your comparison. One was marked with a 4, the other one was marked with a 3. I didn't even see that. Are they 100% clean? No, they are not. But in comparison to that, 30 minutes of doing nothing and they come out like that, I'll put the piston back in that looks like that. That's clean enough. And you will see I didn't take the rings off. So if your rings are sticky or there's anything in the grooves or anything you don't want on them, I don't know if we can maybe see the rings, but it's fine. They are there, they are nice and clean now. So yeah, that's what we are looking for. If you use the ultrasonic, it cleans nicely. You don't have to use sandpaper or anything, and they come out like that. So that's the one secret. I use the ultrasonic also when I do the fuel filters. It knocks out all the dirt out of them. So I'll quickly put these two in, and once they are nice, good and clean, we'll sort out the head, and then we'll start reassembling this bike. I'll do the sump and stuff. So in the next video, you will physically see me reassemble that motor with a new head. That is the route we're going. We're not going to use that one. There's too many issues on it. We're going to put the fresh one on it. But I'll show you everything in the next video. So yeah, if you've been watching all this time, yeah, comment down below ultrasonic. Yeah, then I know at least you watched till the end. And thank you guys for watching, sharing, subscribing, being members, all that lekker stuff. It helps me, it helps everyone. Oh, it helps me make better videos for you, so you are everyone. And then yeah, see you guys in the next one. Next one will be building that engine up. So yeah, may the Lord bless you all. And yeah, see you next week. Yeah, ultrasonic cleaner doing its job. Literally rub the carbon off with your finger. It just wipes off.